Y'all not vote already? Good. Good.
For 6 months, Bernice Scott and her friends have been campaigning for Joe Biden.
That's why we got to stay focused, y'all. Stay focused. The big picture is to get somebody in there to run this country.
They call themselves the Reckoning Crew.
So, Jackie, you probably need more than that.
You need all your flyers. And what we do is we got people from different areas to come in to help people to know what is going on, give people the facts, give them what is going on so that people can be involved in it. Because out here, sometimes you don't have the internet, you don't have the Wi-Fi, so they don't have this and they don't have that. Hi, Sarah. How you doing? How you doing? We out in the bushes, and we are going to walk some areas. Hey, baby, how you doing? We out here talking about Joe Biden.
Right. Yeah.
But we got to pull this thing together.
Right.
And we need everybody out.
Right.
Tell your wife I said hello.
I'll tell her when she
And tell her, please get everybody else out. We need everybody to come out.
She will.
We need everybody to come out. All right.
A Biden win in South Carolina once seemed like a foregone conclusion. But after weak showings in the first 3 states, the former vice president is no longer the sure favorite on Saturday.
The South Carolina primary is the first state where a sizable number of African Americans make up the Democratic electorate. And so for a lot of candidates, it's a big question about whether or not they can appeal to black people.
2 centuries, it's always a fight. It's a battle that is never fully finished.
If you look at Joe Biden in particular, he's sort of staked his candidacy on the fact that he can appeal to African Americans. He says that the Democratic nominee cannot be the Democratic nominee unless they get a large, overwhelming black support.
We're in a battle for the soul of America. It's about who we are, what we stand for. It all starts here in South Carolina. It starts here, for real, for real. Because now we have a state that looks like America, made up of people that are diverse, different.
Cleve Woodson has been reporting on South Carolina for the last year.
Biden is making an argument that he's the best one for African American people because he has been here, because he's been with, Obama's vice president and all that stuff. I wonder what you think about that argument.
That's a good argument. I don't know that it's a convincing one because he can ride President Obama's coattails only so far.
For others, Biden's experience makes him the clear choice.
Why did I come here tonight? To support Joe Biden. He's the best one that ever was a vice president. And now, I don't think there's nobody out there, I don't care what party you're from, that can be a better president than Joe Biden.
African American support, one of the most important things to realize about it is that it's not monolithic. African American voters who are older or more moderate in South Carolina are more likely to support Joe Biden. They're more likely to be sort of pragmatic. Whereas younger African American voters here, and to be honest, across the rest of the country, are more likely to go with Bernie Sanders.
I shouldn't say that I've decided, but it's really between Bernie or Warren, and I just want to see what Biden may offer. From what I've seen and what I've heard, he's really not the guy for me. I think he's a little too moderate when we are in a time of extremism. I think we need an extreme to match Trump's extreme, or we will get nowhere with America. So I told my grandma about Bernie Sanders 4 years ago, and I actually convinced her to vote for Bernie Sanders in 2016 over Hillary, but of course she still won South Carolina anyway.
Polls show Sanders trailing Biden here, but gaining ground by the day.
How does it happen that in the richest country in the history of the world, we are the only major country not to guarantee health care to all? We don't have paid family and medical leave. We got 500,000 people sleeping out on the streets tonight.
Sanders' message has found a large and growing audience, but it doesn't ring true for Bernice Scott.
They believe in free education, free medicine, free. But as a local government working in it for 20 years, if nothing in the pot, you can't get anything out. There's nothing free in the society, nothing. Open the door. Hey, I ain't gonna stay long, baby, because we are campaigning for Joe Biden.
Oh, okay. How you doing?
What you think about Joe Biden?
Think you're all right.